how can our partners help with menopause? How can they support us? What can they say? What can they do? And one of the first things they can do is find out some information so that it gives them a better understanding of how we're feeling emotionally, physically and psychologically, which gives them more of an understanding of what's going on. That is going to help in a big way. There's loads of information. There's Menopause and Me, Menopause Charity, that you could go and have a look, and it will give you so much. It tells you the symptoms, the ages that you can transition from perimenopause to menopause, and the communication part. So when you're sitting down and talking and you're asking your partner how they're feeling, by you getting that information, when she says to you, well, I'm feeling a bit of a bad mood, or I'm feeling a bit irritable today, you have that knowledge of what she's going through. When I found out I was going through perimenopause, my husband went on the internet and he had a good look so that he knew what I was going through. So there'd be some days where I'd have my mood swings or I was feeling irritable, and so he had that knowledge and that understanding, which did help me. The next thing is the help that your partner can give you. With the menopause, we can have heightened stress, and again the feeling very anxious, I think. And if we know we've got a busy day coming up and we've got so much going on, it might be that your partner feels overwhelmed, and by you asking, what can I do, let me do something, it can really, you'll be surprised how it can help us, whether it's just a little bit of washing up, whether it's doing the washing or doing a bit of hoovering, can make a big difference. When we're overloaded with stuff, we start feeling really overwhelmed, we get really stressed, and if we're already feeling irritable, all of that just spirals, and we could end up in tears somewhere. I know I have. If I have too much going on in one day and I don't think I'll do it, my anxiety goes through the roof. The next thing is avoiding personalised moods. You could be feeling frustrated, sad, angry, and that could turn into a big confrontation. So try not to judge us. Sit down, talk to us, have a conversation, and leave it at that. Or maybe even walk into another room and do something else. You've got to understand it's not personal and we don't mean it. And it's just literally how we're feeling can just elevate, and something so small can turn into something so big that will either make us cry or make us really frustrated or really angry, and it is just temporary. The physical and the hormonal changes with the menopause can trigger negative thoughts. We feel unattractive, we feel old, we lose our sex drive, and compliments go a long way. And also when we lose our libido, we don't necessarily feel like having sex. Again, don't take this as a rejection, don't take this personally. It's the last thing on our minds, because we might have had a stressed day, we might be feeling anxious, we might be having lots of hot flushes, and with all of these things going on, having intimacy with our partners is not a high priority. But in saying that, it also isn't the be all and end all of a relationship or a marriage. You can still have intimacy. So you could have a cuddle up together, you could have a kiss, maybe you could sit down one evening and watch a film together, or maybe you could go out for a nice walk, and then maybe some compliments can come in there, and your partner will feel she's had a lovely evening, and she'll still feel attractive to you. And I think that could make such a big difference. Keep a good sense of humour, have a little bit of a joke, and remind your partner of the fun times in your relationship, but obviously have good judgment and don't use jokes that will offend your partner. My husband is, he's pretty good. If I'm having quite a down day, he'll come out with a one-liner, and it will either make me smile or make me laugh. And that also is followed by a great big huge cuddle and asking me how I feel. So I think a good sense of humour is really, really good. Don't leave things unsaid. If your wife looks attractive, tell her. Explain to her or tell her why you were drawn to her in the first place, why you asked her to marry you, why you wanted her to be the mother of your children. Say these sort of things, because all of these things really do help. Even though we might not necessarily tell you at the time, this again is the support and the help and just the little things that we need, and that makes a big difference to us. Patience is vital in the short and long term. And when your partner can't control themselves, just be patient. I found a couple of really good books. I had a look on the internet, and if you can, I took a screenshot, and it's Let's Talk About Menopause, and it's a guide to the female menopause written for men to help them understand the menopause, and it addresses the physical, psychological and long-term symptoms. One of the reviews on it was, it has short chapters with bullet points, so the information is concise. It lists symptoms, both physical and mental, and it has links to organisations who offer genuine help. It's $9.99, and Trustpilot stars are 4 out of 5, which I think is fantastic, and it's probably worth buying and having a read. This was another book I found, if you can see it there, and it's How to Survive Her Menopause, and it's basically a practical guide to the female male menopause, but for men, and it provides info, advice and tips to control symptoms. And one of the reviews was that it was a really useful guide with worksheets included and lots of practical tips to take away. $9.99, and the review rating was 3.7 out of 5, which I think is really, really good. But I hope all of this information, all of these tips have helped you. And it's just one of the videos that I'm going to be doing on menopause and surrounding health issues. If you liked everything, please like and subscribe, and even comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. Bye.